Quickly speaking to the mic.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
20. Okay, what about that one?
2.
Across the South Coast, live from Solent University, you're listening to Solent Sports News.
And welcome back to the studio. It is 1 o'clock now. I haven't had my coffee yet, so I'm a little bit tired. I'm Jamie Howe, and these are your lunchtime Solent Sports news bulletins. There was disappointment for England at the Cricket World Cup in India overnight. The defending champions have lost their opening game by 9 wickets to New Zealand. Devon Conway, Rachin Ravindra complete 2 of the best centuries in recent history. England will look to bounce back against Bangladesh on Tuesday. Here is Joe Butler's post-match reaction.
Very much outplayed by New Zealand and tough defeat to take, but it is one loss. Whether we lost by a run or the margin we did today, it's still one loss at the start of what is a long tournament.
My bad, that is my typo. It is Joss Butler. It is now over to my correspondent, Luke John Buckland, and he is going to be speaking about the upcoming Qatar Grand Prix.
Thank you, Jamie. As usual for Max Verstappen in Qatar, the youngest Formula 1 world champion has performed admirably this season and is on the verge of taking his 3rd world title. Despite the immense pressure, the Dutchman is keeping his composure this weekend for Red Bull.
No, I mean it's fine. I mean we're having, of course, an amazing year, and we just come into this weekend and we want to win again. And of course, I know that if I win or whatever achieve on Saturday, then you win the championship. But I think we're very focused on the main job anyways, just to have a good weekend.
And we'll also speak about Lando Norris ahead of his Grand Prix in Qatar. Luke, any thoughts?
Yeah, McLaren have drastically improved in 2023 and scored a double podium last time out in Japan. But despite their car being improved over the season, Lando Norris has outlined some improvements for them to challenge Red Bull.
I feel like Max can sell us the pace. He has a more drivable car than what we do, I think, at the minute. That's our next target with our development, is still to make it a bit quicker, but also just to make the car a bit easier to drive in different conditions. Because both Oscar and my comments are still like, you have to drive the car like this. It's on the knife edge. If you aren't pushing to 100%, we're just slow. So I feel like we're doing a good job at finding that level, but it's just very difficult. As soon as the conditions change to this, we either go one way or off this knife, and then we're just struggling a bit more.
And now some local news from Formula 1 to football. Southampton would normally have a magnitude of players called up, but now in the championship they only have Carlos Alcaraz, who will join his Argentinian comrades. Jared Bowen in the Premier League will play nationally for England as his first call-up since September 2022, scoring 5 in 7 league games this season. Elsewhere, Ollie Watkins' fine form in the league sees him called up for the first time since March 2022. Gareth Southgate stated how hard it is to leave him out.
He is in good form. He's obviously coming in on a high. He's been with us before. We know his character. We know his personality. He's a good guy around the group. Team are playing well. He's playing for a club that are really well coached, and the team are in a good moment.
And Brentford's shining star of last campaign, Ivan Toney, scored 20 goals and was charged for putting more than a score of bets on many games. Since the charge by the FA, he hasn't kicked a football in a game. But Thomas Frank was more than jubilant about his performance in a friendly this week.
Spoke with him just before he entered the pitch and say, enjoy it, I will. And you could just see he really would enjoy to get out there just to play football. He looked like he enjoyed it, and he does what Ivan does, he scored a goal. So it was very good to see he was happy after.
And there could be a landmark change coming to one of golf's major tournaments in the near future. The British Open and Women's Open have never been hosted outside of the UK in its history, but that could be about to change. Portmarnock Golf Club, which has hosted the Irish Open 19 times, have expressed an interest in hosting the British Open in the future and are hoping for backing from the Irish government. 2 former Manchester United players helped guide Boca Juniors through to the final of the Copa Libertadores. Edison Cavani scored in normal time against Palmeiras before an equaliser sent the game to penalties. Sergio Romero was the hero, saving 2 penalties in the shootout to set up the final in November against Fluminense. Everton have received a welcome boost this afternoon. Defender Jared Braithwaite has signed a new deal at Goodson Park that sees him stay with the Toffees until the summer of 2027. Braithwaite is back at the club following a successful loan spell with PSV Eindhoven last season. And now back into international. The Irish women's football team will have a familiar face in the dugout for the foreseeable future. Eileen Gleeson has had interim control of the side since August, and now she will take charge of the Republic of Ireland for the remainder of their Nations League campaign. There was a surprise in the English Open of snooker earlier today. World number 1 Ronnie O'Sullivan was beaten by Chinese Zhang Anda in the last 16 in Brentwood. Zhang will play his compatriot Zhu Yilong in the quarter-finals. And now, Southampton's under-21 side have started their Premier League International Cup journey against French academy outfit Lyon. Saints midfielder Cameron Bragg sums up the importance of playing in these sort of occasions. And you will have to wait for that at the 4 o'clock interviews, because that is all we have time for now. See you in an hour.